Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Fresh Progress Wellness. And I'm here today to talk about the newest episode of Married at First Sight. So, this episode was interesting. I think rather than going through the whole episode, I'm going to kind of just talk about main things that stuck out and different things that we can kind of learn from those really important issues. I'm so sorry, y'all. Yeah, some plane is passing. It's kind of crazy. So, we open up the episode with the couples meeting each other's family. And I think it's really good. I think you can learn a lot by talking to friends and family members. And you can definitely learn a lot by assessing what friends or family members think of you. Even though it technically, shouldn't matter, but sometimes it does because validation's validation. But nonetheless, it was a really interesting part to see. I will say that my favorites are definitely slowly becoming Amani and Woody and Amelia and Bennett. I think Amelia meeting Bennett's family was interesting. I saw Amelia kind of get smaller and a lot more quieter as the episodes get along. Are you guys noticing that? I'm noticing it and I'm like, oh, it's interesting. And I think some people do it out of just taking it all in and making sense of this newness. I think right now I feel for Amelia. I think she is smart, she's driven, she obviously really likes Bennett. But I think, the two main concerns about the moving and the kids, those are really big things in relationships. You can kind of work through leaving shoes on the ground, you can work through differences in food choices, but kids is a really big one, and areas and where you want to live and make, a house a home, that's a huge one. So I really feel for her, and I think it is affecting her. I wish we kind of got a little bit more of confessional time from Amelia. I think she kind of rubbed it off as like, well, we're getting to know each other and I'm going to be realistic and we'll see what happens. But kids is a huge it's a huge part, and I do think people can change their mind, but I don't know. It's a big thing, and I think it is affecting her, and I saw a difference. So I just wonder how it's going to be as the episode goes on. I did like the fact that both of their families were respectful. And it's just interesting how we take bits and pieces of our family and we like walk into the world. I think watching everyone's family, I just saw everybody walk into the world a different, like with different pieces of their mom or their sister or you just see all those personalities come into the person that we're seeing on the screen. So it's incredibly interesting and vibrant to me because I'm a systems therapist. So it's really cool to see that stuff. So rooting for Amelia and Bennett, but I do think the children thing and the possible moving thing will be a concern and something we should be aware of. Amani and Woody. I like Woody. I think though Woody's a charmer. He's a charmer. He talks really fast. He has rhythm. He has abs. He has really nice abs. I was like, Woody! Literally metaphorically, Woody, I see you. So I was like, interesting. I was like, okay, Woody, I see you. But it was funny. And yeah, I mean, okay, Woody. And I like the way Armani's playing it. I like the way Armani's like, okay, I feel you, you're cool, but like, let's still get to know each other. I just really like the fact they're taking their time. But I also like the fact that we're seeing a friendship, right? We're not just seeing lust, and we're not just seeing platonicness. We're seeing like a healthy balance of I find you attractive and I want to get to know you as a person. So I really like that. And I think you look at some couples and you're like, oh my god, you guys are lovers, and you look at some couples and you're like, oh my god, you guys are friends and lovers. So I'm rooting for the friends and lovers. I think that's gonna really help in terms of longevity. So rooting for them. I did agree with Armani, the whole anger issue with Woody. That's very big. That's something to have constant conversations about, because for me, yelling, I'm the same with Armani. It's not my cup of tea. So I could totally understand where she's coming from in terms of, I'm sorry guys, I'm drinking tea. In terms of having some hesitancy in terms of that. And I don't know how I felt about the mom's question when she asked Armani, what would you do if Woody had one of those episodes or he got kind of angry? How would you handle that? And, you know, I would have, I don't know what I would have done, but I don't know how I felt about that question. Like, is it a woman's job to really like calm down the beast and help you have emotional intelligence and emotional management? Or is that something you should kind of come into a relationship having those skills already? I don't know. Psychological tool that I'll put in that aspect is we cannot change other people. We can support, but we cannot fix. And it's just important to be aware of that, right? The one thing I did like, Woody went to therapy. He's working on himself. And as a therapist that has seen a handful of men and plenty of women, men, you know, y'all got to come to counseling. We were trained that, you know, there's just a huge difference in terms of who goes to counseling. And I'm not going to be here or there to see why certain people come, why certain people don't come. But I do think it's something to be encouraged. And, you know, y'all listen to my podcast. You guys follow my channel. You know, I love all things mental wellness. Encourage the men in your life to go to counseling. A part of my worry, sometimes I feel like in the field, is I see so much women, especially younger women, but I just see so much women doing the work, trying to undo generational cycles, trying to improve their sense of self-awareness, trying to understand healthier ways to feel acceptance, to feel understood, to assert themselves. And a part of me thinks, from a heterosexual context, you have all these women doing these really great deep dive inner work and not so much of the men. And what does that do? You know, how's the scales gonna tip? So I don't know, that's just me being philosophical, but nonetheless, I do give Woody a lot of props for that. And like I said, I like the way they're blending, and I like it a lot. I like the hubby and the wifey shirt. Like, I like the fact they wore their shirts. I love that. It's like the little things, you know. Obviously I'm a water sign. I'm super freaking sentimental, but I just thought it was so cute. And, you know, I know I'm watching this right now from a realistic perspective, from a perspective of someone that has worked with couples, and I do a lot of work in, you know, families and the trauma and stuff. So I'm not taking all of this at once. You know, I know the real dealness comes down to like episode 10 and 11. You know, they lived together for a bit, they had their first argument, they have to go through some cycles, you know. So I'm interested to see where that goes, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt. And that's my thoughts on Armani and Woody. I'm trying to think if there's anything that stood out about Woody's meeting with Armani's family. I just liked Armani's family. They seemed really protective and loving of her. And I like the mom's question about his past and why your last relationship didn't work. Did I think it was a bit forward? Yes. You know, I think it's a bit forward. But if you consider, like, that's a person that's going to be like holding the heart of your daughter, sister, cousin, you're just going to be that person and ask the tough questions. And even though I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching it, I was a bit turned off by Woody's truth sharing of like, hey, I cheated. But after meditating and sitting on it more, I kind of liked it. It reminded me of Olivia and what's his name? Forgot his name. Olivia and her guy situation, where the dad was asking him if he's a Christian, and he said, no, I'm agnostic, but I respect all religions and blah, blah, blah. That honesty is good. Now, it's not anything we should be throwing roses at or, you know, bowing down. I think sometimes we give too much credit to basic human decency, the things that people should hopefully, fingers crossed, already know and have that, you know, good character to do so, to be honest. But it is refreshing, you know what I mean? He could have easily been like, it just ended, we went our separate ways, we weren't compatible. But, you know, he was honest. We both cheated and everything, and I like that honesty. I think that's a really good start. I'm always going to encourage transparency over honesty within a couple, within a friendship, right? So honesty is me coming home late and dropping my bags and my keys, and my husband's like, hey, where were you? And I was like, oh, I was hanging out with my girls. I was like, okay, great. I appreciate your honesty. I'm happy you didn't lie to me. Thumbs up. And I think I'm going to get a little closer. I don't know. And then you think of transparency, and the transparency is more so I'm going, I'm texting at 6:30. I'm going to hang out with my friends. I'll be back later. If you want anything, let me know, And it's so interesting because a lot of us, by the way we were raised, some protective mechanisms, some avoiding mechanisms, we weren't really taught that. And for some of us, depending on our relationship histories, that transparency has caused us pain in the future, right? Maybe we were the one being transparent. We weren't getting that transparency in return. Or maybe we were the one being open and honest and reliable, and that honesty got turned on us in a negative way. So sometimes we have to unlearn those habits and really see that there's a value in being honest and transparent. So I give Woody props, and I give Olivia's guy, who I cannot remember. I think Brett. I don't know. I think Brett. Yeah. I just give them props in terms of doing that. I really like that. We'll go to the next one. Olivia and Brett. I don't know. My good friend, she really likes them. I like them, but I don't know. The cards are still out. I will say something I like about Brett is he is, at least, I don't know if it's first impressions, I don't know if it's respect, I don't know if it's cherishing or kindness, but he seems to be toning it down. He seems to be very polite. I remember now. Something I did not appreciate, or something I'm still kind of about, is they both still seem very surface level. I think possibly attraction's there, but you know me, I'm a big fan of the big three: chemistry, compatibility, and communication. I'm seeing a lot of communication, compatibility, compatibility too. I tell people compatibility is not just liking the same stuff. It's not being a clone of each other, right? Compatibility can also just be relational compatibility. You know what I mean? For example, for myself, I'm not the strongest mathematical person. I like my calculator. It is what it is. If I could be with a man that's really strong in math, and we are able to, start businesses together, or really improve each other's lifestyle because of that yin and yang thing, that's a form of compatibility. Where I'm weak, you're strong. Where you're strong, where you're weak, I'm strong. That kind of stuff. So I don't know, the cats thing, we both like cats. They both find each other cute. They both work out. I don't know, I need a little bit more. It still feels really surfacey, So I'll give it some time, but that's why I'm not rooting for them, because I think in those areas I'm not really seeing the pow deep dive, And it could also just be my positionality. Obviously, like I said, I like talking. I like this kind of stuff. So maybe I'm more of the deep person. They just need to take their time and get to know each other. So who knows? Karen and Miles. My thoughts, I don't feel like Karen is into Miles. I feel like he likes her a lot more than she likes him. I feel like Karen is grieving the dream guy. She's grieving her type. She's possibly even grieving this decision she made, with all honesty. But I do think she's giving it a try. And some reason, I feel like she's very aware of the camera. She's very aware that right now I'm talking and a camera's here, so I need to be respectful and kind, Who knows? I'm not rooting for them. I don't hate Karen. Some people are really anti-Karen. I'm not anti-Karen at all. On some aspects, I kind of relate to her in terms of her taking her time, really getting to know him, being silly, even when she's like, you can't get my number. That's something I would totally do. I think that's fun. That little chase is fun, I just don't know if there's chemistry, I noticed twice, both within the scene in the hotel, after the wedding, and then on the honeymoon, she had a pillow in between them. And, you know, it's each to its own. We don't know anybody's histories, right? We have to be cognizant too. Like, everyone has different histories. Maybe somebody's last relationship wasn't the best. Maybe somebody feels comfortable with a pillow in between. Sometimes I do believe we have to kind of get out this sense of like normal, right? Like, even like, you know, the whole like sleeping in the same bed, you know, I know some people that suffer chronic conditions, they sleep with a machine and their partner can't sleep in the bed with them. You know, I don't know. I just think sometimes you have to be so careful with like saying things are normal or unnormal. But like I said, I noticed that. I noticed the body language. I don't know. I will say, update wise, I did like when they met the families. I like Miles and his respect towards her family, towards her. But we still need more time to make sure that respect is legit. I like the fact that Karen's mom was like, Mama likes you, and I'm going to try to speak to her and see what's what, you know what I mean? That's always really helpful. I think a marriage and a relationship is a community of sorts. And like I said, I think I mentioned this in our past videos, how American culture is very individualistic and me, and I, and ego. But I think you think of a marriage, and just the marriages I've seen, my parents, God bless, married for a long time, you know, family's a big part of it. Say what you want. I don't know if it's like kids, I don't know what it is, but family's just a huge part. And I think sometimes we rub it off, or I don't know, but family's big. So I really like the fact that Karen's mom warmed up to Miles. That was really reassuring. But I will say, a part of me does think sometimes it's like, some of these families are easing up to the guys really quick and then really giving the women a lot of tough questions. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Karen. Interestingly enough, I thought Karen was talking up the relationship. We've been laughing, we've been this. Oh yeah, I like this. We had breakfast this morning. I think Karen was talking up the relationship. I think if I never saw any of the episodes before and I was Miles' sister sitting at that table, I would think they were like Amani and Woody, the way she was talking. So it is funny sometimes, I will say, what we say versus what actually is. I thought, just my personal opinion, I just thought she was talking it up a little bit. So it should be interesting to see what comes out of that. I did not like the question, what do you think about submission, you know? And I get the religious undertones. I identify as Christian. I've done the Proverbs 31 ministry. I know the different responsibilities and stuff. But it's like, do we ever really, if ever, ask men, you know, what do you think about loving your wife as Christ loved the church? You know what I mean? What does that mean to you? You know what I mean? To submit, what mission am I getting under? You know what I mean? What life goal am I getting under? You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, it's a real fuzzy thing. And it's just that one thing. It's like we always put that in the precipice of this like marriage conversation, you know, but then there's like other things we don't really, you know, follow as much. So I don't want to get too much into it. That's probably a whole other video, but I didn't really like the question. I did like the way Karen answered it. You know, she was like, hey, I saw a healthy parent family. My dad's the head of the household. I wouldn't mind it, but I need time, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It just felt a little bit like bargaining her worth or trying to do her worth in some weird way. And I don't know. I don't know. Something about it just didn't rub me the right way. And I identify as Christian. I probably, you know, somebody could probably ask me that conversation if I ever were to get, you know, married or whatever. But I don't know why. It just rubbed me the way. Oh, what rubbed me the way was the mom. It really was the mom. When the mom made that comment, like, well, if you can't do it, then I'll pick up. You know what I mean? That's a problem. I don't like that. I think parents have to let go. They have to let go. You can care, you can be protective, you can help out during times of need, but you have to let go. That can be an issue for them later on. And I didn't like that. No psychological tool there, just personal preference. I didn't like that. Oh, and leave and cleave. That's the thing. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I was Karen because I would have had some verses. But I got honor mom and dads. I don't want to get too much into it, but obviously you guys see I'm passionate about this topic. So comment below if you want me to do a video on that. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll see. And the last couple, Henry and her name is slipping me too now. Henry and, oh my god, I don't know why her name is slipping me. Guys, I'm so tired. I've been doing work all day. I'll say Henry, his girl. I'll put her name in the comment. I feel so bad. I really need to have like notes with me, but I'm filming on my phone today, so it's kind of weird. I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it. Going back to the threes, chemistry, compatibility, and communication. I don't think Henry is attracted to her. You know, just, you know, body language. I think we're seeing two Henrys to me. We're seeing Henry before he got married. Henry was talking. Henry had friends. Henry was pretty open to the camera. And to me, Henry married is very shy, very, I don't know what it is, but I feel like we're seeing two different people. You know what I mean? I think he's not attracted, and probably even saying that sounds really messed up, so he just keeps it to himself. I don't know. Compatibility, I don't see it. And just like with Olivia and Brett, I think it's still surface level, you know? Traveling, and that's mostly what their conversation has been. It still feels really surface level-ish. So, yeah. And then communication, it just doesn't feel mutual. It doesn't feel like a volleyball. It just feels definitely like, I forgot her name. And it's so sad because she forgets his name, but Henry's girl, she's like the one shooting out conversation, and he, you know, I think only one time I picked up where he was like, where would your favorite place to travel be? I think that was the only question he asked in the episode. I don't know, I think I made note of it, but I was like, holy camoli, artichoke. So interesting nonetheless, but I just don't see it for them. I know it's so bad. I hope it changes, because I was surprised a few seasons ago by Jamie and that couple. So I don't know, it could change, but I don't see it. I did like them meeting the family. I think that Henry's family really liked her. But the one thing with Henry's family, that whole he's the black sheep and we make fun of him and everyone in the family knows it's a joke. Nope. I don't like that. And also that can be externalized in a completely negative way. I don't believe in pathologizing. You'll never hear me give someone a diagnosis. Oh, this person's depressed, this person. That's not my job. I'm not your therapist. I haven't done assessments. I'm a researcher. Like, I take this job very seriously. And I'm not the biggest fan when people just say, oh, I think he has this, I think he has. You don't know. You know, you haven't done the work. But with Henry, his family, kind of like I said, being rude to him and everything. I think it's just something to be careful of. I mean, as someone that worked in substance abuse, and I worked with people that were addicted to everything from alcohol, marijuana, heroin, cocaine, Percocet, all the different kinds of drugs. A lot of them were black sheeps in the family, and a lot of them, I can't control my dad joking on me. I can't control feeling like I don't have a say in the family, but I can control drinking and smoking and doing all these other things, So I don't really see Henry as that type, but it really makes the breeding ground for a really good addiction, right? So like not feeling loved, not feeling understood, isolation, right? And then he's not really a person that opens up. So I don't know, it's just something to be aware of. I don't want to scare anyone, but I share these things to educate, to help people be aware, to consider the mind, to just think about all these different pieces, and to consider that, we're all works in progress, and we all are vulnerable to, addictions. We all are vulnerable to negative coping skills. We all are vulnerable to illnesses, mental, physical, psychological. So it's just stuff to think of. But I am hoping for the next episode to see happy people on honeymoons. I don't know how I feel about the L word with Amelia and Bennett. I don't know. But we will hopefully see. I hope you guys like this review. I hope you share and tell a friend. And yeah, thank you so much, and y'all have a great one. Follow me on all social media platforms at Fresh Progress Wellness on all social media platforms. And please comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts and what you guys think. Bye.